welcome to the Biology AICR Teacher Canvas Training. Today we will cover essential skills such as logging in, teacher resources, viewing and locating a student, as well as the grade report. For logging in, educators will use the link provided here that will take us to our login screen. Educators will use their login provided here. We will use your e-number, as well as your password is going to be your lowercase first name initial with your lowercase last name initial plus your e-number without the e. Students will use the login S with their ID, and their password is going to be NISD with their student ID number without the S. Whenever students log in, they will be prompted to have their course acceptance. There'll be an acceptable use policy as well as accepting their course at the top. They would select the green accept button. As far as logging in, we're going to go ahead and go to the Canvas login screen. Whenever you sign in, you're going to have a dashboard with courses on there. We're going to start by clicking the course that we are looking at, which is biology. I have teacher resources at the very top and student resources below that. Students can also see their student resources. Teacher resources are going to include several links that are needed for you to access things within the course. The biggest thing that you're going to want to have access to is your assignment sheet, test codes, and your notes. The test codes are going to be linked here. Anytime a student needs a test opened, they will be prompted to have you enter a code for them. Each unit has a specified code, and these are case sensitive. You'll enter them exactly as they are listed. So if there's a capital letter, you will use the capital letter when entering a test code. Going back to our teacher resources, we have other links that are provided here. You can view them as you need them throughout your course. I'm going to go back to the home screen and show you how to access guided notes. Guided notes will be viewable for the teacher and the student in the exact same way. They would be able to click where it says tutorial and guided notes, as well as the teacher. It's going to link the guided notes into the screen. I would click guided notes and it will populate into the window for me. I have the option to download these and print these for my students, or I can have them do them digitally. I'm going to go ahead and click close. All guided notes are linked within the actual tutorial and guided notes system of the course. I'm going to go back to my home screen. So for Unit 1, there are two separate lessons. There's Unit 1A and Unit 1B. The 1B guided notes will be linked here, so on and so forth. When looking at a post-test, we talked about unlocking a post-test. The student would click on the actual post-test, and once they click on the post-test, it will be prompted for them to have a code put in. I'm going to go ahead and view as a student so you see what that looks like for a student. You have this option to view as a student as well. You can see that my screen changes just a little bit and tells me I'm logged in as a student. So if I was a student and I was ready for a post-test, I would click on the post-test and I would be given this screen here. You would enter the code for the student here based off of whatever unit they are participating in. These are my post-test codes for biology. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the student view and I return back to the actual test here. So if I were to view as a teacher and I wanted to view student results, I could do that by clicking on the post-test. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the screen and I see this button here for build. I'm going to click build and I'm going to use the button here, moderate. Once I click moderate, I can see that my students are populated in here for the test. I can see that Wonder Woman has not taken her test, but James Bond has. James Bond has done 1 attempt of his 2 given attempts. He scored a 60. I can see how long he spent as well as the questions. So if I want to view that, I would view here. And I can see how long he spent on each question, that he answered the question, and it shows me how long the total time is. If you feel like that's necessary, you can look at that. I'm going to go back to moderate. And if I want to see his actual questions, I'm going to click on attempt. And it will show me exactly what he got correct or incorrect. So I can see that on number 4, James didn't answer this question correct or this question correct. It should give partial credit for you. If there was an error, you could fix that. Going back to the home screen, as far as grading assignments, this Canvas course will be graded automatically for you and the student. There are no pieces of the tests that need to be graded or any activities that need to be graded by the teacher. All of those will show in the grade report for the teacher. So as far as viewing a grade report, I have a couple of options. I could go to grades, and all of my students will show here, as well as their grade. If they do not have a grade for an assignment, a dash will be given for that student. And I can scroll to the right to view all of the activities. Currently, it has all of the post-tests at the front, and I can see all of the post-tests first. I can also see my students' grades by looking at their grade report. I can find their grade report by looking at people. This will show me my students enrolled in the course, as well as maybe when they logged in last, how much time they've spent on the course, and their role. I can also see that Wonder Woman hasn't even accepted her course here, so I know that Wonder Woman has not participated in the course yet. If I want to look at a grade report, I could click on the name, so I'm going to look at James Bond, and then I'm going to click on grades. Whenever I click on grades, it will take me to James Bond's grade report. I can see these are listed by post-test first. For completion purposes, I'd like to see the post-tests all given first. As long as all of the post-tests have a grade indicated here, I know that I want to calculate based only on graded assignments. I would make sure this box is checked, and then I could print grades. If this score is at least a 70, the student will be able to receive a 70 in the course. I know that this student is not ready yet because he only has a 60, he doesn't have everything completed yet, but if all tests were graded and this was at least a 70, I could go through a completion for this student. I would do print grades, and I'd like to save this as a PDF. When saving as a PDF, it automatically puts a name in for this file, and you can leave this or you can change this to how you see fit. You can save it, and you're ready for this student to finish their course. Today we covered the essential skills for a biology accelerated instruction teacher facilitating the AI-CR portion of their program when using the Canvas platform. Good luck to everyone, and feel free to review any parts of the video for any pieces that you may need more help with.